Peace, 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 y'all. So we back in the building, right? So this one right here is what is territorial and personal jurisdiction, or rather say what is personal and territorial jurisdiction. Now, that's basically dealing with jurisdiction over your person and jurisdiction within the territory that they claim to have your person within. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go into this. Let's see how this actually plays out. And you see in the title I put, the ID and the plates. So let's see how she uses the ID and the plates as a form of jurisdiction. Like we're gonna draw this up after we watch this. To the knowledge.
Now, Mr. Brooks repeatedly asked witnesses who had just watched their loved ones get struck by this SUV if they happen to catch a license plate. States Exhibit 150, there's the front license plate. Definitely a little blurry, but definitely you can make it out.
They trying to see with the license plate, right?
States Exhibit 151, there's the rear plate.
All right.
States Exhibit 175, there's Darrell Brooks in his music video with the same car,
same plates,
same license plate. There's the key to the Ford that was found in Darrell Brooks' pocket. There's no doubt Darrell Brooks is the person responsible for this.
Right. Now, what is she going to explain it, matter of fact?
Because this man in this picture is the same as this man in this picture wearing this sweatshirt. And again, it's a little hard to see, but you can ask for these exhibits in the jury room if you want. The photograph, you can see this design on the front of the sweatshirt if you look close enough. This is a sweatshirt from the playset that has Darrell Brooks' DNA on it, according to the crime lab. That's him right there. That's Darrell Brooks driving off into the parade. That's Darrell Brooks driving in the parade. That's Darrell Brooks driving in the parade. That is also Darrell Brooks driving in the parade. And so is that. And he kept asking people about the tints on the window. Well, guess what, folks? You don't need to see the tints on the window when the windows are rolled down. And there's clearly one person in that vehicle in every one of these photos. And it's that man. And it's that man. And it's that man. Darrell Edward Brooks Jr., date of birth 2/21/1982, on his identification card.
See, identification card. This is how they get you, y'all. See, this is not a driver's license. It's still an identification card. And you see how they got his name in all caps, like the lady about to say. Got the address on, not to be putting the nigga business out, but, it's public information now. But, address on there. That through that address, this is how they get territorial jurisdiction. See, whatever that address is, he's within that territory. See, the state of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they have jurisdiction over him because he's within that state. Not that province as a USAR national, but he's within that state. See what I'm saying? So therefore that state, due to this form of ID, identification card, this is how they get jurisdiction over your person. See how she keeps saying this is the person. This is the same person. See what I'm saying? Because they know what that word person means. You know what I mean? So they get jurisdiction over your person, which is the all caps name, like she about to say. That's the actual person, not the living being. That's why he keeps saying, I don't consent to being called that name and so forth, playing the whole sovereign citizen thing. Now, I never heard him say the term sovereign citizen out his mouth, but of course, that's how they define that. But being that he's not under like USAR, he can't be an actual official national. So therefore, he would have to play that sovereign citizen game. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's pretty much what he's saying in the court, that he's not under their jurisdiction. He doesn't want to be called by that name. He doesn't consent to being called by that all caps name and blah, 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 blah. You know how the whole thing go. You already know how it go. So being that he's trying to declare that, they still got jurisdiction over him. Personal jurisdiction over his person because of the so-called name, and territorial jurisdiction because he's within the territory that they claim to have jurisdiction over. Let's continue.
Issued by the state of Wisconsin.
Right, see? Issued by the state
in all capital letters. Darrell Edward Brooks Jr. This was in his pocket.
See?
When they arrested him.
That's why I be asking y'all, what's in your wallet? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to get my official. Now, I know I showed y'all some nationality cards before. Them shits was bogus. Not on by my own intent, but due to the fact that none of these people or groups of, people I went through to get these cards were actually had an actual government behind them. Now, when I get my ID through USAR, United States of America Republic, which is an actual government, this will be a government issued ID, not a state issued ID. It will be for the province in which I am in with as a national, not the state I'm in as a so-called citizen or ward of the state. You know what I'm saying? Because they consider us wards of children of the state, owned by that's why they have him in custody right now. You understand what I'm saying? Now, and the word ward means child. It's a Latin word meaning child. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a ward of the state, you're a child of the state. And this is why the parents, which is the so-called state, can take you into their custody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't parents have custody over children, over wards? So therefore the state has custody over you as a ward because they consider you to be their child, a ward, a child of the state. You understand that? So like she just said, all bold and proud, all capital letters, blah, 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 because she knows the whole game. She know about this stuff. That's why she's using her court tactics to try to, disprove this stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So this entire shenanigans that he's presented to you through his questioning of witnesses about, I'm not Darrell Brooks and that's my name, and I don't know who that is, and I don't consent to being called that name. It's just nothing but a distraction. It's Darrell Brooks. It's the man who drove through the Waukesha Christmas parade and killed people, injured people, endangered the safety of people.
See, now, Pete, right? Now, notice how she just referred to him as a person, but he said he damaged or harmed people. See? So she just made him a legal fiction, which would make him state property, and then say, you harmed people. And those other people would actually be considered persons too, which would be considered wards of the state. So therefore, they see it as you damaged our property. You harmed people, you damaged our property. We own these people. They're property of the state. They're wards of the state. You hurt one of our children. That's how they see it. You damaged our property. You see what I'm saying? And now we have to charge you for this. So this is how they see this, because this is the system. So come out of her, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. And guess what? USAR is the only way. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm not trying to make y'all dislike USAR because I'm telling you it's the only way. I'm just telling you it's the only way. There's nobody else in North America that has a government for original people, an official tissue government. You understand what I'm saying? Not the stuff we've been putting together and trying out. All of us have been trying to get free. All of us have been trying to put together nation states and this, that, and the third, and all these different types of things, even myself. But now I found USAR, they've actually done it. They kind of won the race, so to speak, because all of these different groups of Moors and even some gods that have knowledge of the Moors and so forth, they've been trying to develop things and get shit together, but it hasn't been forming an actual government. USAR has done that, so you just got to tip your hat and just pay homage where homage is due, and ride the wave, because this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying ride the wave as a follower, but know how to surf as you ride the wave. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? This is the wave. This is what it is. So USAR issues their own driver's licenses, their own plates, they have their own car insurance. They have their own driver's licenses and IDs, you know what I'm saying? National IDs, rather, I call them, you know what I'm saying? Because it identifies us as nationals, not as citizens of a state, as nationals within a province. You know what I mean?
Sorry, your objection, sir?
So yeah, so
Uh, Your Honor, with all due respect, I would appreciate the quote unquote language what does she mean by shenanigans and this and that and the third?
Sir, your objection's noted. It's overruled. The state may continue.
Well, can she tone that back? Because if that was me, if I would have said
Mr.
something
Brooks,
like
your
that, it would have been a
objection
problem.
is noted. It's overruled. These are closing arguments. There's nothing improper. It's noted. It's overruled. She may continue.
I just wanted to be fair.
You'll have an opportunity to respond, sir. Please let her finish.
So I can rebuttal?
Go ahead, Attorney Alper.
Thank you. I'm going to conclude my comments with this, folks. I'm going to show you the video, a stitched together video of all the carnage caused by Darrell Brooks, and I apologize.
Stitched together.
This is important that you know what he did.
he said the background stitched together. Yeah, you got to pay attention to everything they say. So anyway, the science with this now is like, like I said, just break it down as far as with the title, personal and territorial jurisdiction. This is a real, I use this court case because they broke this down very clearly in this thing. And it like you heard her say, the all capital letters, all that. They broke all of that straw man stuff down and all of that. All of that sovereign citizen stuff people be trying to do and been trying to do for years. This is the reasons why it may not be working. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how they declare their jurisdiction, by us using these contracts. So like she said, this ID was found in his pocket when he was arrested. See, they found that in his pocket, in his wallet, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's in your wallet? That's why I keep saying that. What's in your wallet? You got that state ID in your wallet? You might want to not travel with that. You might want to not carry that around because once you pull that out and you give that to an officer when he asks to see some ID, once you give him that state ID, you're under his jurisdiction. Now, if you go into your wallet and bust out a USAR ID, guess what, buddy? You're not under his jurisdiction. And now, as it's written on the card, he has to immediately contact your government, which is USAR. He has to contact your government. You understand? He or she, whatever, whoever the officer is, whatever. You have to contact your government. And then your government will come and take you into their custody and deal with you because, you're a national, not a child, but a national of USAR. You know what I'm saying? So we belong to USAR, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case. Not to the state anymore. We're from under their jurisdiction and under a whole new jurisdiction. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'd rather be under this jurisdiction than under their jurisdiction, where they could do what this lady just did to him. And I'm going to end that on that note, y'all. If y'all don't see it as clear as day, I don't know what else to say. Peace.